Hello, everyone. We're back in my kitchen again today, and I'm going to be making one of my favourite sandwiches of all time, which is a grilled cheese. Now, let me explain to you why. First of all, the 4th of July marks a sort of turning point in the calendar where I start feeling a lot more Americana vibes in my life than perhaps I do the rest of the year. And the reason is that I watch Independence Day and I feel like I want to tell both the British government and the aliens. And so out of the window goes the classic British cheese toasty, and into my life comes the Americanized grilled cheese. The closer it gets to autumn, the more sort of Americana vibes I really feel in my life. And I can't really explain it. I think it might have something to do the fact that comfort food, New England in the fall vibes, cozy sweaters, pumpkin spice, all that sort of stuff. Very Americanized sort of version of autumn. It really gets me inspired. Let's get down and do the autumnal influence of things. And so this year, I'm taking a leaf out of the book of the sort of American influences, and I'm going with the July 4th has passed, so it is now spooky season because the next big event is Halloween. And so, yeah, with 2 months of hot sun left, there is still spooky things to celebrate, I suppose. You could always do Summerween. God bless Gravity Falls for that one. Last time in my kitchen, we saw me try a Wigan Kebab for the first time. That was a little bit simpler to make than this because you just warmed up a pie and put it on some bread. This time, however, we are going to be using a frying pan and a couple of extra steps. So allow me to walk you through. I've got my simple ingredients. I have mayo, I have bread, and I have cheese. Traditionally, when making a grilled cheese sandwich in America, it would be something of a struggle meal. You might use the sliced American cheese, a couple of slices of that, and some bread, and throw it in the frying pan. Quite a cheap meal, I imagine. So a struggle meal. For me, however, being British and eating cheese sandwiches for lunch my entire life, no matter how good or bad times were, this is kind of a way to elevate my lunchtime. And so we're still using staple ingredients and, of course, a quick trip into the frying pan. So normally you would butter up the bread on one side and you would mayo up the other. I'm not using butter today. As I mentioned last time I made a sandwich, I am on a bit of a diet, so butter is extra calories that I don't want to have to use. Flash up the calorie count of the whole thing. Thank you very much. Basically, assemble your ingredients. You put the mayo on the outside and you preheat a frying pan, and then away you go. Now, it's called a grilled cheese because it is a cheese sandwich that is cooked, and you can grill it instead of frying it. In fact, make the grilled cheese of your dreams by grilling, frying, air frying, baking, roasting, or even deep frying, and it's all the same thing. As long as it's bread and cheese, then you've made a grilled cheese. It doesn't matter how you cook it. That isn't what changes the name. It is just the name of a food that has been popularized over the years. And there's some people that would debate that fact, but ignore them. Grilled cheese, even though it's fried. And so yeah, pop it in the pan, and you want to do it nice and slow, low and slow. You want a medium heat. You want to give it 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and you want to make sure that there's a nice brown crust on both sides. So if you underdo it, perhaps just give it a few more flips as you need. It doesn't need to be specifically 2 to 3 minutes both sides. You're not doing a steak here. You're doing a very simple, as long as the bread is brown and the cheese is melted, you have succeeded in making a grilled cheese. And then for me, the perfect serve is with some soup. Today I have minestrone. I would normally have tomato soup. And in fact, last autumn, speaking of my autumnal content, last autumn I made tomato soup from scratch, and then I made the grilled cheese to eat with it. It was really good. I feel like making your own soup as well, just really chef's kiss, the whole thing. There it is. Grilled cheese. You see it oozing out. That is delicious looking stuff. I'm sure you will agree. I'm going to try it. I'm probably not going to make much noise while I try it because I'm holding my mic in my hand today because it was making a lot of rustling noises and it was annoying me. Okay, so I switched microphone methods, so I apologise for the change in audio. I've dumped the toasty? How wrong am I? Grilled cheese dunked into my soup. give it a taste. Still very hot. Yeah, as good as it ever was. 10 out of 10. Love a grilled cheese. Love a grilled cheese dipped in soup. I will say that not having the butter on the inside made it kind of hard to keep it together when I was putting it into the pan. But other than that, great experience. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to travel more through food or in the real world, then please like and subscribe. And yeah, keep on questing.